one of the really big questions that a lot of people had for you, and a lot of people mentioned this, and maybe you know you're aware of this, but your run on Drag Race is kind of famous in a way for basically that you were not really shown very much. It's called like the Kandy Ho
Yeah.
edit or the Kandy Who, I think people call it.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
so across the whole episodes that you were on, only 72 seconds of your confessionals, according to the Drag Race wiki, were shown. So I was just wondering, is that something that you felt when you watched it back? And how did that make you feel?
Well, to be honest, like, I mean, obviously they have a lot more recorded of me, but like I said, my mind was there, but at the same time, it wasn't. And I can see that maybe a lot of what I said in the confessionals maybe didn't work, or maybe I wasn't as wild and woo and this like the other girls, and it was maybe it's my fault a little bit, but I'm pretty sure if they edit things certain ways, they could have edited me in doing up, playing around with it too. So, but I feel like it was maybe on both sides. I feel like I could have done much more than I really did. But I feel like I said, I was in so many places and I was there, and it was a lot for me. It really was.
Yeah, because that's definitely become one of the things. I think your run on Drag Race has become one of those things. It's become almost like the thing if everyone says, "Oh, they got the Candy Ho edit." In other words, that you didn't get shown much.
I've seen that. I've seen it.
No, and it's a shame because it would have been nice to see you a bit more. But like you said, I guess if you're not giving them the material because you're not that sort of
Yeah.
person, like you're not if you're not a villain, you're not you're a very zen person. I can see why maybe for the show they
Hmm.
would kind of edit you out, but it's unfortunate because I think we would have liked to have seen a bit more of you.
I know. Especially back like when I'm gonna put my glasses on right quick because I really can't I see you, but I gotta see you better. Okay. I feel like especially when I was on the show, I didn't really know myself as much. Like, and I had never ever been by myself doing drag at all because we had a drag family, and when we wanted to do something, we had our sisters, and you know, he does my makeup, my friend does my hair, I didn't have to do any of that. So I was like so naive to so many things, and I was trying to learn everything at the same time. And that I was like, I really wish I would have shown more of myself, but it just wasn't in me at the moment. It really wasn't.
Yeah, I can understand that. And it's unfortunate, but I guess there's not much you can do now.
Yeah. But I
But
see, I mean, I accept it. Like, I mean, it is what it is with the editing. And, like from then on, I've tried to like build myself and try to be a more not wild person and loud, because that's not me. I am loud because I'm Latin, but I'm not like, yes, girl, work. That's not who I am. And I thought that that's what I had to be, or who I had to be, to kind of fit in. But I was like, but how do I fit in if I'm not like that? I was trying to figure myself out and do my drag all on my own at the same time. So I guess that's what had to happen.
yeah, and that's I can understand it. Unfortunately, I guess it's a TV show first and a competition second.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And I wish I would have known that because I come from competition. So for me, it was a competition, and I totally forgot that it was TV. I was like, I want to perform. I want to dance. Let's do this. And then it was like, okay. And then on everything else, what are you going to give?
Well, speaking of dancing, one thing I wanted to ask about. So obviously, you were on the show. I think with 6 episodes. One of the iconic moments from your run was during the Despy Awards episode. You were in the bottom and you had to lip sync against Mrs Kasha Davis. And I think that's
Mm-hmm.
gone down as being one of like the really like I feel like it's a really underrated lip sync. It's actually really good. You both did such a good job. And obviously you won the lip sync. So I was just wondering in that moment, how did it feel then? Because that was what, your second time lip syncing? So how did that
Yes.
how did that feel?
I mean, being on the bottom again for me was so upsetting because I mean, I felt that I didn't do too bad. I thought I did okay. I mean, and my look on my runway wasn't the best, but it was pretty, and I felt pretty with all my sparkles and my feathers. But it was like here I am again, I guess, you know. I kind of felt at the moment I was like, they're just putting me on the bottom so I could just perform. And I was getting upset, but at the same time I was like, well, this is kind of what I wanted to do. So it was like it was crazy. And then having to go against Kasha. First time I had ever heard that song, I learned it there. And it was like it was a lot. And I knew I was gonna win. I don't want to be like that girl. But I was like, baby, I it was such a great song. I love the energy of the song, the vibe. It was sexy. And I was like, Kasha, I'm sorry. Sorry, baby.
It was a great lip sync, and it definitely, I think, is underrated, and it's such a good lip sync. You both did a good job. You both did it in different ways, but you were just like hitting every
Yeah.
beat. You were really showing your performance skills, which was, and I feel like it was quite a big turning point in how people saw you in the competition, because I think before we didn't get to see you much in the edit, and then we saw you in the
Yeah.
lip sync, and we're like, oh, she can perform. She's really good.
All really wants to see me perform. That's what they want. I was like, well, I guess it's what I'm gonna have to do.
Yeah, no, and you did. One thing that is quite interesting about that lip sync is I interviewed Mrs. Kasha Davis a while back about this, and there was this bit in the edit where at the end of the lip sync, Kasha like turns and goes to like hug you, but you turned the other way, and they put that little shady music in.
Ladies.
I was just wondering if that is actually like, is that a deliberate thing, or did you just not see her do it?
I really don't remember seeing her. I really don't. I was like, the song ended, and I was like, I guess I still had the energy in me that I really don't remember like seeing her like want to hug me or anything. I didn't feel it from her either. So I was like, whoop, let me go to my side. Let's see who stays. I just want to know who's gonna stay and who's gonna go. We'll hug later. We'll hug later.
Okay, yeah, so it wasn't deliberate. It was just because they put the little shade sound effect in it to make it look like you were being like the villain again, getting rid of
Yeah.
another one of the older queens, because you'd already, beat
Yeah.
Tempest and got rid of her, and now you were getting rid of Mrs. Kasha Davis.
I know. Mm-mm.
So that was a really good lip sync. And one of the other challenges I wanted to talk about, which I think has one of the ones that people remember the most, was the acting challenge, the whatever happened to Merle Ginsburg one. And they kept showing that one line of you saying, "Mother does not play that," and you. And they kept showing it over and over again of you getting it wrong. I was just wondering if that was actually how it happened, or was that kind of edited to make it look like you were doing worse than you were?
Can I get my line, please?
Mother does not play that.
Mother does not play
That.
Oh, play that. Mother does not play
That.
I remember maybe missing once, maybe twice, but I don't remember twice, maybe once. But they made it look like I forgot all the time. I was like, I mean, okay. I was like a little cuckoo at the time, but I knew what I was doing, and I know that I did it maybe once. I said it wrong. But they had to do what they had to do.
And yeah, that was the episode, unfortunately, I think, where you went home, right? And you lip synced against Jaden.
Yes.
So,
Jaden,
which was also
yeah.
a great lip sync. That is a really good lip sync.